Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Level-Headed News. This is your host, Brenda. I have two articles in this episode for you. Both of the URLs are in the description of this video for your convenience. The first one here is off of Liberty Writers News, and it says, wow, President Trump just announced a bold plan that is out of this world. Literally. President Trump has a sincere interest in NASA's space program. During his campaign, he spoke about space technology and sending astronauts to the moon again. In fact, rumor has it that President Trump is known to be the space president. Trump wants to support the space launches and cosmic opportunities with funding from Congress. The president realizes the importance of having NASA active once again, and he knows it would bring public awareness that's exciting as well as beneficial to our nation. Robert Lightfoot is the administrator of NASA. The Washington Post wrote this week that Lightfoot reportedly sent a letter to employees saying he'd instructed the top NASA official for human spaceflight to study whether NASA could put astronauts on a lunar orbiter called the EM-1, scheduled for launch in 2018. At a Space Committee hearing on Thursday, Tom Stafford, now an 86-year-old retired astronaut who flew on Apollo 10, complained that NASA accomplishments have been held up because of Obama. He says, we've had 8 years of lost opportunities. We've seen the consequences of failure to carry out long-term objectives. The change of major programs with the change of new administration has been detrimental to the nation's space program. Trump may be the president who wants to take it on, Garber says. Most people believe Congress will hold their own, but I'm optimistic with the Trump administration, stated Lori Garber, NASA's deputy administrator. The Obama administration didn't put capital against Congress to expand NASA, Garber said. She believes that President Trump has strong fortitude to blast off our nation's space program so Americans may boast that our country is the #1 space program around the world. The next article that I have for you is off of Aramax, and it says, SpaceX launches supplies to space station. And there's some video in this if you want to take a look at it. SpaceX launched almost 5,500 pounds of supplies to the International Space Station on Sunday morning after scrubbing its Saturday attempt because of a potential issue with its Falcon 9 rocket. The rocket lifted off at 6:39 a.m. Pacific Standard Time from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. It was space company's first launch from Launch Complex 39A, the pad where Apollo and Space Shuttle missions launched. About 8 minutes after liftoff, the first stage rocket booster landed back on land at the company's landing zone 1 at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. Baby came back, SpaceX chief executive Elon Musk tweeted, followed by a snapshot of the return landing. The Dragon spacecraft, which is carrying the supplies, deployed about 10 minutes after launch. It is set to arrive at the space station early Wednesday morning. Saturday's launch was postponed just 13 seconds before liftoff, so SpaceX could look into a potential issue with the thrust vector control system on the rocket's second stage. Shortly after, the company tweeted that it would take a closer look at the positioning of the second stage engine nozzle. Musk said on Twitter on Saturday that all systems will go for launch except that the movement trace of an upper stage engine steering hydraulic piston was slightly odd. He tweeted that the company wanted to make sure it wasn't systematic of a more significant upstream root cause. 99% likely to be fine, Musk tweeted, but that 1% chance isn't worth rolling the dice. Better to wait a day. This was the company's second launch since the launch pad explosion in September destroyed a Falcon 9 rocket and commercial communication satellite. Musk said Saturday potential problem was not obviously related to a very small helium leak Friday that the company was investigating, but it also was not out of the question, he tweeted. This was SpaceX's 10th mission to deliver supplies to the space station for NASA. So that's what I have in space news for you. Yes. If you like what I'm doing here, give it a thumbs up. Share it on your social media so everybody gets to hear the news. Don't forget to subscribe. That way you'll stay informed. Episode.